Space is infinite. Or at least, that's the lie we've all been fed our entire lives. We're told we're surrounded by a never-ending sea of planets, stars, and galaxies stretching out in every direction. But here's the truth that scientists don't want to admit. When you look out into space with your own eyes, you don't see an endless glow of light, do you? No. What you see is darkness. Pure, empty blackness. A void. And that's not a coincidence. That blackness is hiding something. Something so controversial, so mind-bending, that it completely shatters everything you've been taught about the universe. What if I told you that darkness actually marks a wall? An edge. And what's beyond that edge might prove that everything we think we know about reality is wrong. Before we blow your mind wide open, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because the curiosity beast is about to take you on a journey that will change how you see existence forever. And I'm warning you right now, once you learn what I'm about to tell you, you can't unlearn it. Some people will call you crazy for believing this, but the evidence, it's undeniable. Let's start with a number that sounds simple, but is actually proof that we might be living in a cosmic illusion. The distance from where you're sitting right now to the edge of what we can see is 46.2 billion light years. And that creates a perfect sphere around us that's 93 billion light years across. But here's what they don't tell you in school. A light year isn't just some random measurement. It's the distance that light, the fastest thing in existence, can travel in 1 year. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can move faster than light. That's the law. The universal speed limit. So everything we can possibly know about the universe is trapped inside this bubble, this sphere. And here's the part that should terrify you. Inside that sphere is everything we have ever known or will ever know. Every star, every galaxy, every planet, all of human history, all of our future, it's all contained in this bubble. And guess where you are? Right in the dead center. You, me, every human being. We are the observers at the center of our own universe. Now pause for a second. Doesn't that seem suspicious? Out of an infinite universe, we just happen to be perfectly centered in our own observable bubble? Some scientists think this is proof we're living in a simulation, that we're the main character in a cosmic video game, and everything beyond our bubble doesn't even exist until we look at it. Think about that. But it gets even stranger. That edge separating our bubble from the rest of infinity? It's not empty darkness at all. Scientists have discovered it's actually a wall of light, ancient light. The first light that ever emerged from the beginning of everything. Most people know this as the Big Bang. But here's the controversy. That name is complete garbage. It's misleading. It makes you think the universe started with an explosion. It didn't. And the real explanation is so weird that most scientists avoid talking about it in simple terms because it sounds too much like magic. We'll get to what really happened. But first, you need to understand why we can't see this wall of light. The reason we see black when we look into space is because our eyes are basically useless. We can only see a tiny sliver of reality. Imagine light as waves, like ripples on a pond. When you throw a rock into water, you see tight, clear waves at first. But as they spread out, they get wider and flatter until you can't see them anymore with your naked eye. But the waves are still there. They're just invisible to you. That's exactly what's happening with the light at the edge of our universe. It's stretched so far that it's moved beyond what your eyes can detect. The waves have become too long, too flat. They've shifted into something called infrared. You've heard of infrared, right? Night vision goggles use it to see in the dark. But even those can only see infrared at close range. You can't just strap on night vision and suddenly see the edge of the universe. That would be too easy. This is why we built the James Webb Space Telescope. It costs $10 billion, and it can see deeper into the infrared spectrum than anything humans have ever created. Through its eyes, the blackness of space isn't nearly as black. It can peer back in time, almost to the very beginning, and see things that have been hidden from us for billions of years. And what it's finding is shaking the foundations of physics. Drop a comment right now if you think James Webb has discovered proof of alien civilizations, because some scientists believe the data is already there, hidden in plain sight. But here's the kicker. Even with all that power, Even with $10 billion of cutting-edge technology, James Webb still can't see the edge. The black void remains. The wall is still hidden. So how do we know it's there? Well, this is where things get absolutely insane. We have to go even deeper, past infrared, past what any telescope can see. We have to enter a realm where light becomes something almost impossible to visualize. We're talking about microwaves. And no, not the microwave in your kitchen. I'm talking about cosmic microwaves. Right now, at this very moment, you are being bombarded by invisible waves of ancient light from every direction. They're passing through your body, through the walls, through the earth itself. You can't see them. You can't feel them. But they're there. And they're coming from the edge of everything. This is the only thing that can survive the journey across such impossible distances. This incredibly faint, totally invisible microwave radiation. And hidden inside it is the first light to ever exist in the universe. We call it the cosmic microwave background, the CMB. And this is what we find at the edge of our bubble. This is the wall. Scientists visualize it as a heat map, blue and yellow patterns showing tiny variations in temperature across the entire sky. And what this map reveals is shocking. The universe has never been uniform. It's always been clumpy, uneven. And those clumps, they match exactly where galaxies are clustered today. It's like the universe was born with a blueprint, a design. And that raises a very uncomfortable question. Was it planned? Did something or someone set the initial conditions? Comment below if you think the universe was designed or if it's all just random chaos. But here's where the whole thing falls apart. The wavelengths of the CMB tell us that this light is 13.8 billion years old. That's the age of the universe. But we already know the distance to the edge is 46.2 billion light years away. Do you see the problem? If nothing can move faster than light, then how does 13.8 billion year old light end up 46 billion light years away? The math is impossible. It breaks the rules. Something is very, very wrong. Either our understanding of physics is completely broken, or something else is going on. Something that most scientists are afraid to talk about publicly because it sounds too much like science fiction. And this is where Einstein comes into the picture, the greatest mind in human history, the man who figured out how space and time actually work. But even he made one catastrophic mistake about the universe. And when he realized his error, he called it the biggest blunder of his life. What was that mistake? And how does it explain the impossible? That's exactly what we're revealing in part 2. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on, because what's coming next will completely destroy everything you think you know about reality, the Big Bang, and the true nature of space itself. Some of you watching this right now will have your minds permanently changed by part 2. Others will refuse to believe it because it's too strange, too threatening to everything we've been taught. But the evidence is undeniable. The universe is not what you think it is, and we're about to prove it. I'll see you in part 2, Curiosity Beasts, and trust me, you're not ready for what's coming.